I'm Rich, and I'm the owner of the Wall Tent Shop here in Idaho. Today I'm going to talk to you about my Selkirk spike tent. I'm very pleased with this tent. It's a custom design, and I took all the features of wall tents and combined it with a spike tent to make this into a very special tent that has so many additional features that other spike tents do not have. You have zippers that close up the door. And again, you have the side zippers below that totally close up the front area. Then if you ever have zipper problems, you can have another way of closing the door with a 8-inch storm flap with these heavy-duty Fastex buckles. Our Selkirk spike tent is made of Army Duck double-filled canvas. That's the highest quality of canvas available. Double fill means that there are two small threads twisted together and then woven into canvas. We go both lengthwise and crosswise, and that's why we call it Army Duck double fill. Just stronger and much more durable. This spike tent has some special features to it. Along your eaves we have webbing that reinforces the eave, and then we have D-rings that you can tie your ropes to stretch it out, and also put your side poles. Much stronger tent in that way. Now, another special feature of this tent is that we have 3 poles for the roof. We have an entrance on each end. Each of those poles are 6'4" high, and the center is 8 foot. Most of the spike tents that you will see on the market only have one center pole. And what that does, it makes for a very sharp roof line and an entrance of only 5 foot high, because you have to have support poles of the roof on each end door to have easy access, which is 6'4". Our spike tent has side poles made out of aluminum, and as you can see how it works, you put the pole tip through the D-rings, and then you tie on your rope and tensioners to that pole to keep your walls tight. Now, our tents come standard with 200 feet of rope and tensioners. The tensioners are a very easy system. If you want it tighter, you just bring the tensioner closer to the sidewall. Now, another feature of our Selkirk spike tent is our windows. Each one of our tents comes standard with 2 side windows. And we have a screen mesh on the outside, and I will show you soon the flap on the inside. The Selkirk spike tent also has a feature of being able to pull back the doors and buckling them to allow a lot of air to come through the tent on a very hot day. Again, I want to talk about the 3-pole support system inside the tent. When you have the 3 poles, you have tremendous headroom in a tent, almost the same as in a wall tent. Again, 6'4" as you enter the door, 8 foot in the center, and then we have the back pole also. If you notice, we have a back door on this tent just like we do on the front. That back door is essential on any tent that has a sewn-in floor, because in case of a fire or some other disaster, you have to be able to get out of the tent quickly from either end. Some other features on this tent, you'll see the reinforcement on the corners. All 4 corners have that reinforcement. Also, on the ridge, there's a double layer of canvas, which adds tremendous strength to this tent. And then you have reinforcement at each location of the pole. Now, again, as I said earlier, we have windows on each side of the tent. You have a heavy-duty zipper along each side and Velcro on the top. And what that does is make the tent totally waterproof and windproof with this flap here. And then you just fold it down like that. And again, you have this fine mesh webbing to keep out bugs and insects. And if you only want to go halfway with the window down, all you do is just zip up the windows on each side, and you have half of the window down. Our stove jack has a 5-inch opening. However, there's a pattern at 6 inches. If you want to cut your stove jack at 5.5, you go halfway in between the two lines. And if you have a 6-inch stovepipe, then all you do is cut the pattern that's shown on our stove jack. The stove jack has a flap on the outside, so when you use the tent in the summertime without a stove, that flap protects your tent and no rain can come in the tent through the stove jack. When you're using the stove, this flap rolls up and ties back to the top of the stove jack area.